They would never run out
I
of
like
uses for Zach. So go on.
I like Zach. He was happy.
Yeah. Zach is like the opposite of Cloud in pretty much every way. Oh, we
Which
hear...
is ironic.
This is Aerith's theme. If it sounds familiar to anyone, like, that's probably because you played 6.
In terms of music and indeed graphics, 7 always seemed a little strange to me because it's kind of like a strange halfway house between the later, more graphically proficient 8 and 9 on the PlayStation and the previous 2D ones on the SNES. It's kind of like a halfway house in between, even though it is still on the same platform.
Yeah. Like, I actually think 7 has my favourite soundtrack, but my least favourite graphics. This is I think this is the mother's flashback. No, I think it's either the mother's or it's Aerith's. No,
It's definitely a flashback.
Well, we know that much. No, I don't think it can be Aerith's, because Aerith isn't here at this point. So you just see, like, you just basically see a lot of people coming off the train who've, like, come back from the war, and then, like, her husband, whatever, doesn't come back. And conveniently, Aerith ends up at the same train station. It's kind of hard not to feel at least a bit emotional in this bit, because Aerith's theme is pretty awesome.
This Aerith is pretty cute. I wonder if there's any art of her like that.
If there is, you probably don't want to see it.
I meant the official art. Oh, there. Omochi Kayadu, I'm taking her home with me.
Aerith being
Nothing
left
like abducting random trained children and just...
Aerith
I
being
found
left...
it. Can I keep it?
We'll just leave her mother there.
I was gonna say, like, being left with strangers doesn't seem like anything new to Aerith. I quite like the transition there. That was actually pretty nice. Oh yeah, so Aerith's a Jedi Knight. She can see the future.
She's a future psychic.
Yep. Until one day. Yeah. Like, so this is where we see, like, we saw a little bit of it last episode, but this episode, like, just get into some more insight into how much Shinra really want Aerith on the team. Yeah, Aerith hears voices when she's alone. That's kind of...
That's called schizophrenia, children.
Yep. So all this time she's been suffering a case of schizophrenia and thinks she's an ancient, which is amazing.
This means, so that I guess in this universe Shinra want a pet schizo?
Aerith was caught because of Marlene. And now
Because I was too busy being a terrorist.
before it was like all about Aerith's tragedy, and now the same music applies for Barrett's tragedy. Yep, he goes around in circles.
I'd be curious how they'd remake Final Fantasy VII's cutscenes in a more modern style, because here a lot of the focus is on the backgrounds because the sprites are so limited. And the background model's actually quite pretty for the limited technology. It's just everyone else looks like a Lego block.
Yeah.
So it'd be really strange to see sort of close-ups as we do with the modern Final Fantasies.
I think that's one of the many things they're scared about with remaking this game. Like, it's that and like the kind of outburst you'd get from the fans. Like, I think they're really scared of that. Oh, yeah, I just said I don't know, which gave me less points for Aerith, I think. Oh, another case of those two beds being used between 3 people. It's now like 4 or 5. Those 2 beds are being used between. And now, our current goal is to rescue Aerith. We've only known her for about 3 hours, and like already she's asked Cloud on a date. We're trying to rescue her, and Shinra have kidnapped her. Like, and this has only been a few hours into the game. Well, unless you
There's
can't.
something about Aerith.
Unless you count the fact. Sorry, go on.
Is Aerith some weird version of the manic pixie dream girl trope? Like, it really feels like it.
I would not be surprised. Oh
If
yeah.
you play Final Fantasy Tactics, Aerith and Cloud's cameo is pretty much the same thing of Cloud somehow winds up in the Final Fantasy Tactics world. Aerith is a flower girl selling things, and she gets jumped upon by some mean people, gangsters, whatever. Whatever the equivalent of gangsters is in Evilus, and you
Brigands.
immediately have to rescue her. Yeah. Ruffians.
That's
Scoundrels.
When never played Tactics. I need to play it one day. And then there are a lot of games in this series I need to play. Yeah, you have to do a lot of backtracking for this bit. It's not that much. Like, if anyone who's played Metal Gear Solid 1 will know, you don't have to do that much backtracking. This time we're not cross-dressing in this bit. We're actually doing something more productive.
What do you mean cross-dressing isn't productive? It got us into Don Corneo's house.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, you have to... It never explains this, but you have to get the batteries first. Or, like, if you don't get them first, then you'll have to come back and get them. So, like, if you don't get them first, it's just a minor annoyance, but if you get them first, then it's, like, saves a lot of time. And this bit has a lot of graffiti on it.
I wonder if they changed the graffiti for the English release, or whether they just had it in English in the first place, because most of the signs use kanji, and only kanji, not the other Japanese characters.
I reckon they used it the first time for, I reckon they did it in English the first time because, like, it would be based on like American hip hop culture, so I don't think they had to translate anything. Oh yeah, this music here is pretty heroic, considering all you're doing is climbing a huge wire.
It's like Metal Gear Solid all over again.
Oh yeah, man. What was I doing there?
Final Fantasy games and platforming.
They don't mix very well. Yeah.
That is a huge battery.
Well, Cloud can fit 3 people inside him, so I'm not surprised he can fit a battery inside him as well.
Spoilers, Cloud is actually a
Out of
TARDIS.
Out of context, that sounds incredibly bad.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of convenient that you put the battery in and it lands on the exact place you want it to land. And then I still didn't know what I was doing. There we go. Then I knew what I was doing. Yeah,
Of course, because train tracks work like horizontal ladders.
Yep. Video game logic. Oh, this bit is annoying. Like, you have to press X at the exact moment. Well, in the original it was circle. But it's just so annoying, this bit. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yes, I remember this. Though I try my best to forget.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
Evidently the game was frustrated with you.
Well, either it was frustrated with me or I was frustrated with the editor. Yeah, and I still didn't do
Everything
it.
just gave up on life due to platforming.
I wonder how Cloud is just surviving. Just...
There we go. I think that took me about 3 tries, and that's the short version.
Cloud has delusions of Mario.
Why does everyone in this game have a mental illness?
Well, I guess it's
I mean,
like,
we're all deciding they all have strange delusions.
it's only Cloud so far. Well, I mean, you've got Aerith with schizophrenia.
Well, you just said Aerith has schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Barrett's probably got PTSD.
I would not be surprised if Barrett had PTSD. Like, with the stuff he's been through.
Same with Tifa, so...
She's a
To be fair...
sociopath.
Yeah. To be fair though, I think in this game, like... It's easy to say who doesn't have PTSD.
Hmm.
Yuffie?
No, Yuffie is just... Yuffie's just Yuffie. That's enough of the
She's
mental illness.
special.
She used to fill our quota of Genki girls required for each Final Fantasy game.
I would say Yuffie is more of a psychopath because she doesn't feel sympathy for Barrett. So that could be her mental illness. There we go.
Mental Illness
Did you
Fantasy
go for that
7.
time?
Did I get it right the first time, that one?
You appeared to.
That's good. Oh no, I went the wrong way. No, did I? No, okay. Cool. Oh yeah. That time I went the wrong way. This whole bit is just basically a maze.
Big ominous tower of ominousness.
And that's the good music.
Welcome to Shinra headquarters.
Find it interesting that they use a lot of red and gold in the Midgar sections, and a lot of kanji rather than katakana or hiragana. Gives everything more of a Chinese feel with all the dragons and the like as well in Don Corneo's mansion.
Yeah, it does seem pretty Chinese influenced actually.
Clearly this is an unsubtle message that the Chinese are evil.
Well, the Chinese and the Japanese do hate each other. Actually,
Yes,
everyone
why I
in
commented.
East Asia and Southeast Asia hates Japan.
Are they that unpopular?
Yeah, everyone in East Asia and Southeast Asia hates Japan, Vietnam, China, Taiwan, Korea, Cambodia, Laos. We have bad history.
Well,
Mostly
good old
they make an
Japanese
exception
imperialism.
to Hello Kitty.
Okay, so that was episode 3 of the Final Fantasy Wiki plays Final Fantasy VII. I was your host, Techno Obliterator. That was Hexed Magica. That was Kirasu. That was Yuan Chosan. And I will see you guys next time.
Nice try.